Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Today we have a real treat for you as we kick off our month of delicious side dishes, and shall I just say what a perfect month to do that. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and really and truly the side dishes always steal the show. So we're here to show you some of our favorites this month, and we're going to kick things off by using our trusty electric pressure cooker to show you how to take the long day out of making collard greens. And it's really simple, and you'll kick yourself when you make them once this way and wonder why you haven't always done it. Now it's very simple. I'm not even going to cut the overhead to show you because I'm just going to talk about the ingredients and simply add them in. That is literally all you do. And this has a 30-minute cook time in here, and then we take it out. We let the pressure naturally release, and then we take out our ham hock. Yes, we have a good old-fashioned smoked ham hock we're going to be adding. And we shred the meat off that, put it back in, and finish it with just a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And that makes all the difference in the world. So gone are the days of slaving over a big pot of collards for all afternoon just to get them tender and sweet, just like you want them. We're going to show you how to do that really simply. So I have one large bunch of collard greens. You can use mustard greens. They're really kind of almost the same thing. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but nonetheless, I'm using what is labeled in the store as collard greens, and I have washed these suckers like 3 times, and I have peeled them off the rib and just ran my knife through them just so that they're kind of ribboned. They cook a little bit easier, a little bit faster, but whatever your preference is, you can certainly just tear them. I have done that before because sometimes a big meaty hunk of collard is exactly what you want. So in my inner pot, and you want to make sure you always have this inside of the pressure cooker unit. You don't want to go to dumping things in without that in there. Ask me how I know this. Luckily, the times that I've done it, it hadn't been anything too terrible to clean up. But make sure you've got that stainless steel pot in there. And to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic and a half a cup of chopped red onion. You can use yellow onion, you can use white onion, whatever your preference is. I like to say whatever you've got is what you need to use, and I've got red onion, so that's what we're using. So those go directly in the pot, and then these guys soak up a lot of salt. So I put probably close to about a teaspoon of salt in here, just simply because the ham hock is smoked. It has not been brined in salt, so you're not going to get a lot of salt from that with it being smoked and kind of dry. It will reconstitute in here, and I'm also using low sodium vegetable stock because I like to control the salt. I don't like the salt to control my food. So then we're going to add in probably about a half a teaspoon of pepper. I like a good bit of pepper in my collards. You may not. I don't typically give a measurement on the salt and pepper because I like for you to do that according to what your preference is. So we're going to add that in, and then we're just going to put in just a little bit of red pepper flake in there. Not much. Probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and you're going to hear my dog bark because Big D just walked in. And she's a guard dog. Well, at least you know that I have real life going on here. You are in my home kitchen with me. Now, I have this beautiful smoked ham hock that with the bone in that I picked up from the grocery store. So he smells really good. He's going to go in first. All right, so when we finish our cook time, we will carefully remove that and take a fork and just shred off all that good meat and add it back in. If you didn't want the meat in there, you just simply wanted the flavor, you could take the ham hock out and discard it. Personally, my folks, we like it with a little bit of that smoked ham hock in there. Then we have a 1.5 cups of low sodium vegetable stock. So we're going to put that in. Now I know that doesn't seem like a lot of liquid. What we're essentially doing is we are steaming these collards. That ham hock, once it mixes in here with that 1.5 cups of broth, it is actually going to cook off some liquid. And the collards will too. As the collards cook down and steam with that vegetable broth, they'll actually release a lot of liquid too. So you don't have to start out with a lot. That's one of the wonderful things of using this pressure cooker method. So I like to tell you that to go ahead and buy 2 bunches of collards and clean them and wash them, because you can always freeze them. They'll be fine. I usually let mine dry real good and wrap them in paper towels and then wrap them in tin foil and then put them in a great big old freezer bag if I have too much. But I would rather you have too many than not enough. I typically can only get 1 bunch or 1 mess of collards in my 6 quart. But if you have an 8 quart, you could probably get the whole thing. But we're going to pack these in there all the way to the top because they're going to cook down a lot. So with clean hands, you just want to take them and just pack them in on top of everything else that's already in here. And you're about to see why I call my kitchen the messy kitchen, because I cannot do this without making one more mess. So just like I said, I have 1 mess of collards here. And that's about all I can usually get in a 6 quart. You could probably get two messes of them in an 8 quart electric pressure cooker if you've got one. But if not, 1 mess will do fine. If you've got 2 of these, you can cook 2 messes of them at one time if you wanted to. But this makes a lot of collards just in this 6 quart. So now we're going to put the lid on, and then we're going to turn it to lock it in place. Then we're going to turn that vent to seal, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit pressure cook on normal pressure, and then we're going to set our timer for 30 minutes. We're going to let that finish cooking. We're going to let this sit when it gets done for about 10 minutes and let the pressure naturally release. Then after about 10, maybe 15 minutes, if there's still some pressure in here, and if that pin, there's usually a pressure pin here depending on what model you have, if it's still up, then I may let it sit a little longer, or I may get a long spoon and open that vent and allow the remaining pressure to escape. Then we're going to take out that beautiful ham hock. I'm going to shave some of that meat off of it, put it back in, and then we're going to put about a 1/2 teaspoon of good apple cider vinegar inside there with it. Stir it real good, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then we're ready to eat. So we're going to get that all started, and then we'll be back to show you the finished product here just very shortly. Y'all hang tight. Hey everybody, we are back. We have finished our 30-minute cook time, and then I allowed the pressure to naturally release for about 10 minutes. And then I carefully removed the ham hock out, and I have carefully shredded the meat off away from the bone. We made sure there was some connective tissue, and usually there is, that we did not include that in here. So I just want to show you, like this thing was full and we've cooked down by half. So that's typically what happens. So if you wanted to cook this in 2 batches and do 2 messes of collards, you could, and then you'd have plenty, and you can let it cool completely and then freeze it in freezer containers and always have collards on hand. Sometimes I like to do that because it's easy to pop it out of the freezer and let it thaw at room temperature, and then just reheat it, and you can have collards anytime you want them, especially when you can get them fresh like this. It's really worth it to wash them once and eat off of them multiple times. So now we're going to return that ham hock, because it's so good, back, and then we're going to stir that into our collards, and everything is still really hot. So then I like to use apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. It adds a little bit more flavor, and it's good for you. So we're gonna put in just about a half a teaspoon, and that's about 1 capful, or you can measure it if you wanted to. And then we're gonna stir that up. And of course I'm not prepared. I was gonna scoop out a big bowl so you could see them. Let me see if my assistant will hand me a bowl, and I'll pop them onto a bowl and we'll show you how pretty they are. They're absolutely perfect. You can let these sit and let that apple cider vinegar get all soaked up in there. But y'all, there is just nothing better than collards, especially on a cold day. I could eat this and a piece of cornbread and be absolutely satisfied. In less than 30 to 40 minutes, if you count your come to pressure and your pressure release time, you can have homemade collards that taste really good and didn't cost you all day, and you really didn't have to make the house smelly. So this is our easy electric pressure cooker collards. We hope that you'll try them. Dust off that pressure cooker if you're scared of it and use it for this application. It's fantastic. Make sure that you check out all of our recipes over at thebutteredhome.com. We would love to have you there. We're real proud of our website. If you're not already, be sure you're following us on all of our social channels too. These videos go up over at Facebook and Instagram too, and we have lots of fun stuff going on over there. And as always, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go there and hit that subscribe button and be sure you ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. So y'all, we're gonna have a lot of fun this month, and I guarantee you that if you cook some of these collards or any of these other great recipes that we'll be sharing with you, that you will be the star of the show, and everybody won't care a thing about that turkey at Thanksgiving. So y'all have a great week, and we will see you back here next week from the Buttered Home to your home. We love y'all. Bye.